Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Neuroxys map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. Starting off with Team 1, also known as Blue Team in the Southwest, ending with Team 2, also known as Red Team in the Northeast. Starting off with Team 1, Southwesternmost player in Stitch Blue. It is Navalwasser going first lane as a Sirens. He is a 1452 rated. To his north, we have in Royal Blue Dilly Dally going first lane as another Sirens here for Team 1. He is a 1628, the highest rated player on Team 1. And rounding off the lineup here for Team 1, it is another Sirens here. So full Sirens team for Team 1. He is Katawunga going first lane in Amethyst Purple at a 1571 rating. So for Team 1 side of the map, as I mentioned before, it is all Sirens. No Seraphim, no UEF, no Aeon for Team 1. For Team 2's Northeastern player, we have in Ruby Red, Barry DL going first lane as a Seraphim. He is a 1279 rated. In the middle here for Team 2, we have in Chevy Crimson another Sirens here of the game. It is Kelly going first lane, second air. He is in Chevy Crimson at 1705 rated, the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall. And rounding out Team 2's roster, we have in orange, the color orange, Nya Marine going first lane as a Seraphim. He is a 1588 rated. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have one Sirens and two Seraphim, which means Team 2 has no Aeon and no UEF, which means for overall, there are no Aeon and no UEF here in this game. Apologies to those loyal to the Old Earth Empire and those loyal to the Princess. You are not represented in this game, but hopefully you will enjoy it nonetheless. Taking a look at Team 2 side of the map for Reclaim, we have, actually in the game overall, we have 10,000 Reclaim, which means it's pretty close to 2,000 mass per play. It's about 1.7 or so mass thousand per player, which is, again, a decent amount. And in terms of mexes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Trimex positions here, as well as a couple of one-offs. So a lot of focus is going to be on expansion in the southern and northern sides of the map here for both teams. There's a nice little amount of water in the middle. I feel like this little bit of a, spacing between the land masses might cause some issues here for the more bigger units in terms of the battleships and all of that stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Salem's just walk across the map or even just walk across the middle here, because every team has Sirens, especially with Team 1 having all Sirens. I would not put it past somebody on Team 1 of just sending a bunch of Salem's across and walking them across the landmass in any which way imaginable. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and see where our players are going. We see two of the players on Team 2 have moved westward, going to land on the northwestern shores here for Team 1, and exactly the same situation for Team 1's players against Team 2, except looks like both of these players in the middle going for opposite sides of the map. So you're going to have units over here fighting units that are over here. It's going to be very interesting seeing artillery and everything firing at one another if those places do hold out for both those players, which I imagine that they won't for at least a little bit, but I don't think they'll last for 30 minutes, not even probably 25 minutes. Team 1's player in the south here for Navalwasser going for a naval facility. His opponent in the east hasn't gone for his own, but going up for a lot of spam T1 facilities. We do see Team 1's comm of Navalwasser as well. So not only is he going into the Navy, he's going into land. This is going to be more of a delaying tactic, allowing him to get his naval facilities online and pumping out units to either re-secure the beachhead or secure it even further. But the comm of Nya has seen this play, and he's just going to walk it down. So the longer Team 2 is delayed, the more secure this position gets, especially with a teammate in the north here for Dilly Dally going for the exact same thing of going for a naval facility as well. Team 2, they're going for naval facilities. Only one of them so far, but I would not be surprised to see somebody on Team 2 going for Navy, at least in some degree, maybe the southern pond, but at least another northern pond to secure it. We do see some interceptors here and bombers over the top here for Team 2, as well as T2 Air already online for Ferry DL, going for T3, 6 minutes on the clock. Very, very early T3 upgrade has been started. Will that play dividends? Will it not? We'll just have to see. If he's going this early, there's no way he's not going for Strat Bomber first. It doesn't make any sense why you wouldn't, especially if your opponent isn't even at T2 air. It just doesn't make sense why you, again, would not just go for a bomber to harass constantly. It would force your opponent to switch gears a little bit, get up a T3 facility, and then pump out some ASF, so you'd have plenty of time for it. And again, as we see Dilly Dally going, actually going to go in the middle of the Trimexes, go for 3 of them, and then probably go for a couple of land facilities. Same thing happening in the western for Kelly. I'm also using a new headset. Not a new headset. It's an old headset that I thought was broke, so I bought a new headset, which I've been using essentially the entire time I've been making videos here on YouTube. And it's a little bit bigger than than the one I've been currently using. So it fits my head a little bit better. I have a big head, so it kind of squishes my ears a little bit. The smaller one does. This one does not. And it sounds a little different. Obviously, every headset is different. So I'm getting used to how everything sounds. I've recorded a couple of videos on this headset, not FAF, but just this is the first one I've done it with FAF. So it's not as I'm not as tuned with it. But eventually I will be able to listening for like the Strat Bombers and the Awasausa and all of that. Fairy DL going after Catawonga, and them just kind of hanging out, just shooting one another. Nothing's going to come of this because Fairy is right next to the water, so even if he does feel threatened, pop in the water and call it a day. T3 is almost done here for air, 75% here for Team 2's Fairy, who's again on the beachhead. Team 2's incursion from Kelly has been shoved back quite significantly by Catawonga. And Team 1's Dilly Dally being body blocked here. Those dams trying to prevent him to get into the water. Team 2 has done a pretty good job of preventing that retreat into said water. But Dilly Dally looks like he's going to be able to open a hole here and get himself into that water safely. He did drop into the yellow, so it'll be a while before Team 2 sees him again. But there are some subs nearby as well, which means Dilly Dally cannot sit in the water and just kind of sit here and hang out. We do see, of course, Kelly does have a couple of units online in the naval side of things. T3 air has now been completed. He's going to go for those NGs, so it's going to be a couple of minutes before we see that bomber if he does go for it. But again, like I said, I would not be surprised to see him go T3 bomber just because, again, Team 1, there is no facility that can compete against that T3 bomber at any rate at this point in the game. Team 1's Nebraska has been forced out of the southern edge, but has moved a little bit more northward. And it looks like Team 2's Nya is also pumping out his own spam facilities. Probably will go for Zooies, as T2 Navy is online for Dilly Dally in the middle of the map. Team 2 doesn't have T2 Navy as well. But again, T3 Air, it is a huge thing. Kelly is out of the water as well, going after Dilly Dally. Wants to chase him down, but will be prevented to do so by Catawonga's forces. We have Catawonga and Nebraska, both Ks, and not necessarily similar, but they both have Ks and they both have Ws in them, and they're both at the third syllable. Catawonga, Nebraska. Yeah, they're at the third syllable. Anyway, in the south, Nyakat versus Nebraska, and again, not really going to go anywhere. It's mainly just firing at one another, taking hit points off. If Nyakat goes into the water, it will be fine for now, but again, I feel like Team 1's play is to encourage Team 2 to go in the water and then just come in with some either not strap bombers, but torp bombers or Salems, whatever the case may be, and just run them down with torpedoes. A lot of interceptors coming in to shield both of these commanders, going after the gunship that's been built. So we have another player on Team 2 going for at least T2 air. And nothing out of Team 2's is Kelly. Did he go for bomber? Well, the facility is not active just yet, waiting for that pigeon to start. Team 1, do you have anything in the vein of going after that facility? No. T2 air is online. We do have a transport with some Mantis online. Moving to the other side of the map. Looks like they're going to be at least delayed, at least a little bit. Looks like he's kind of shifting a little bit northward and then coming back. I do love the fact that he sends the transport in, going to drop the units off, and then immediately sends the transport back, not letting it sit there. I see a lot of times the transport's goal is just get the units there, and then it dies. If you're able to save the transport, that's less mass and energy you have to spend to build another one. Even if the drop doesn't work, at least you have another transport. So, and it gives a little bit less mass to your opponent, that sort of thing. T2 land is online. It's been on for a while here for Catawonga. He's going for those Wagners. They have torpedoes on board. Prevents comms like Kelly from sitting in the water. But Kelly could go for a torp launcher on his chest. Kind of surprised he hasn't done that yet. We do see T2 Navy as well online for him. So one player on each team has T2 Navy. One player on Team 2 has T3 Air, and another has T2. And only one player on Team 1 has T2 Air. But I would not be surprised to see the upgrade. Yep, it has been started for Nabarwasser in the south. But Team 2 has the advantage for the current moment. And are they going to use it? And it looks like they are not. Definitely a missed opportunity here for Team 2's air player of Ferry DL. Could have easily gone after Strat Bomber, taking out all the land units, taking out T2 Mechs, taking out the T2 Pigeons down here for the air player of Nabarwasser. Could easily have delayed that. Could have been huge. But it looks like it's not going to be the case here for Team 2. We do see in the south, Team 1's player of Nabarwasser is killed off by a bunch of torpedo bombers, and it looks like some Zuru just kind of hanging out just above him to just annoy him. But that is going to be a kill here on Team 1's commander of Nabarwasser, making this game a 3v2 in favor of the eastern team of Team 2. Obviously, the downside is that Team 1 is one player short. Team 2, benefit, of course, is that Dilly Dally will inherit everything that Nabarwasser has. He was going for T2, going for T3. Now that he has more eco under his belt, he can easily build that up a little bit faster. So, again, the benefit is you kill off a commander. The downside is all that mass goes to somebody else. So just one of those things. Torp Bomber is able to take advantage of the confusion going on down south, and going after those Salem's going to provide a lot of value for those bombers. In the northern side of things, we just see a bunch of Wagners running around. And again, they have torpedoes, so they can fight the slivers outbound from the Siren facility here, outbound from Kelly. He does have his own Salem online. And I wouldn't be surprised to see those Wagners come onto land. We do see that Strat Bomber has been built. Didn't build it early enough, in my opinion. But it's there at a minimum. So we will see how that goes. Looks like Spy Plane is outbound. Yeah, I thought he was building... Yeah, he did build an ASF. Okay, so didn't go for the... Okay, anyway. He still went for Bomber, but I feel like he could have built it a little bit sooner. Going to get some readouts of what's going on the northern side of the map. Love to see that play. Would have liked to see that like 2 minutes ago while he was building the bomber. And then he doesn't have to wait for it to be sent out. So while the bomber's being built, gets all the radar, all the signatures for him, and then comes in. Strat Bomber over top will be noticed by Team 1, but at least it does defend at this position. Nice little Utashala online will be able to assist with those defensive measures, and does spam out a roll through 2 assist, which maybe was gifted over by his teammate. Actually, no, he is Seraphim, so it could have easily been built by him. Anyway, looks like it was built by him. Wagner's come southward here, going after a couple of engineers. They don't do a lot of damage. They're very much like the Blazes and the Riptides. They're useful for hover tech, or in this case, float to the bottom of the water tech. But besides that, on land, not really that great. We do see a cruiser online with the ability to fire its AA onto ground. Its AA cannons are very ineffective in terms of accuracy, but again, something's better than nothing. And in the south, still the spam occurs. And now we're seeing 2 lines of spam, one in the south and one in the northern side of that southern pond. Team 1 has to be constantly busy dealing with this. And right now, I mean, it's distracting Team 1 quite significantly. Strat Bomber outbound, it is severely wounded by those interceptors going after maybe the T. No, it's going to drop short going after those mechs. Could have easily gotten a double kill there, but doesn't put it in the middle of them. And it looks like the bomber has killed off 2,000 mass, is trying to make it home. AA just barely gets clipped. And the bomber does get killed off. Unfortunately, it just drifted barely into range, and it was just enough for the Siren to kill that bomber. If it killed 2,000 mass, so it cost 1,000 and killed 2,000, so it's definitely a net positive, but it definitely could have done a lot more work had it A, been built early, and B, not waited for the spy plane to get a nice little view of what's going on. ASF's an interceptor sitting here for Team 2's air player as well. I don't know what he's going to do with it. Maybe he's trying to clip up. There are some transports nearby. One of them has a comm of Nya on it. He has he has missile and T2. Missile outbound. Do not tell me you're going for... Okay, you're not. You're going... Where are you going? Oh, you're going for the T2 naval headquarters. And it gets redirected by the cruiser. Wait, no, it gets... Wait, what? Oh, that's going to hurt. He's going to feel that in the morning. Oh, that's got to hurt. I didn't know these had... Did those have redirect? Hold on. Is that a new thing? That's not a... Now Marine does move before he gets killed off by his own missile. I didn't know those have redirect. I mean, I know they had zappers, but I didn't know they had redirect. That seems... I mean, that seems like an only loyalist thing, in my opinion. Yeah, Marine is gonna not feel good here due to the fact that there are Salems right here. They could easily take out that comm. 2,000 hit points in climbing, only ripping up some hit points. He could have easily killed this one off and let his Zui kill off that one, but he just wanted to make sure it was killed off. He does drop hit points very, very quickly, though. Sub 2,000. Did build another missile. Needs to keep dodging. Bob and weave. Bob and weave. Needs to move all these units. Needs to the coast to assist. And we see... Again, I still don't understand that. There is no... There is no... Is there a redirect on board the sonar system? No, because it would say that. It would say missile redirect, but... I guess... I don't know if... That's definitely not a new development. It's definitely been there. Trying to make it to the transport, definitely would not recommend that due to the fact that there are interceptors nearby, and his own interceptors do intercept those interceptors. But it definitely would have been a risk. Now, it does make it out of range of those cannons on board the Salem, so it looks like he's able to survive that. C1 Jesters running around going after those Zui. Definitely a good counter to Zui, because Zui don't have AA, so definitely a good counter there. And Neon definitely needs to get some T2 flak online to deal with those gunships, but is again busy with his commander almost dying. Still don't I mean, I'm perplexed by that. I don't understand that. It seemed like the cruiser did it, but it has no capabilities, at least listed by the little, you know, AA sonar. And obviously the loyalists have that ability, so I'm kind of surprised by that. ASF's come in here for Team 1's air player now of Dilly Dally, going after the gunships. Gunships are all killed off, and all the interceptors for both those air players able to kill off most of those ASF from Team 1. Transport's going to pick up some of the Zui, and that one immediately gets shot down. Don't know why those were picking them up, but they will. And there they go. To the other side of the map they go. And AA going to kill that off very quickly. Don't know where those were going. Like I said, it's still that missile definitely perplexed me. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe that's a new thing. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of weird that there isn't a missile redirect on that thing, but you would think it does. The way it would say it if it did. And this doesn't have missile redirect because it's just TMD. No, that's not it. Anyway, we see some bricks forming here for Team 1's northern player of Catawanga. He is facing a nice little Salem incursion. There it is. I knew it was going to happen at some point by one player. It is coming here from Team 2's Kelly to the western side. Artillery starting to be in range, taking out some AA emplacements first. We do see Catawanga has Nano and T2. Doesn't have gun. But if that Salem does move in a little bit more, if he has overcharge, which I'm assuming he does, it'll be perfectly fine. Looks like the artillery trying to go after the T3 air headquarters. And it looks like that Salem will die in one shot. That's got to hurt. There are more Salems, of course, making their way over here all the time. But Team 1 has lost the northern pond. Team 2 has lost the southern pond. There's definitely kind of shifting in a kind of counterclockwise manner with Team 2 claiming the north and Team 1 claiming the south. At this point, it's going to be either a mad dash for a nuke, mad dash for supremacy in terms of Navy for both ponds, which I don't really see that happening anytime soon, or it's going to be just a bunch of air and just how fast they can spam out air and air control and all of that. And again, 3 players on Team 2, 2 players on Team 1. Overall, Team 2 and Team 1 producing roughly about the same amount of mass. Team 2 ever so slightly a little bit ahead. Looks like it's more, again, regen, fluctuates, all that stuff. Reclaim, all that kind of misses with the numbers. But let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. And, of course, if you haven't done so already, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so very much for watching to this point in the video. I wanted to shout out the channel, of course, 1,300 subscribers on the channel now. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it. I hit it yesterday as the as of recording this video, today would be, of course, the day that I actually did hit it. But again, thank you so very much. I really do appreciate all the time, the effort, the support. I really, really do. Sometimes it's kind of hard to remember. Not necessarily abstract, but 1,300 isn't as much as like a million or anything. But it's just, I really do appreciate it. So thank you very much. I'm always trying to remind not only myself but everyone that I am grateful for all of the support. We do see in the North T2 Navy. I don't know if it should be. I mean, again, this map is very interesting to where this makes it very, not necessarily impossible, but very annoying to deal with Navy coming to the other side of the map. So investing heavily in Navy might not be the play. I mean, getting T2, getting cruisers spammed up everywhere. Obviously, the Salems make everything worth it, at least a little bit, because you can walk naval units on the land. You can kind of turn naval units into land units, but they are slow. You got to build AA around them, that sort of thing. Is it worth it to go T3? Probably not. The only thing worth it for T3 would be a nuke, because you could sit a sub right here and just nuke everything on the map. So that would be my only justification for going T3 Navy, but players might have other ideas. Team 2 does have Seraphim technology, so they could build T2 Seraphim tech and go for, of course, the cruiser and missile spam. That would be a very interesting play, because Team 2 is the only one capable of doing that, but I don't think they're doing that, especially with one player focused on A and the other player focusing on the land incursion in the south by Katawonga. You see, of course, the fleet here for Team 1 just constantly patrolling down here. And nano repair has been started for Dilly Dally. Wants to make sure he's protected from any sort of torpedo incursion, whether that be from the sky or from the water. Most likely the sky at this point in the game. And those Wagner's getting a ton of value just going after a couple of mexes. Definitely cuts Team 2's eco down a little bit. 2 Trimex positions have been lost. Team 2 has done the exact same thing in the north. So again, very much a mirror going on here. It's going to matter of how fast can one team collapse the other team. Essentially, how fast can Kelly collapse Katawonga, and how fast can Dilly Dally collapse Nya, because that's going to take a lot of the focus off of the air game onto the land game if that collapse does happen. It will buy the other team enough time to go for a big ticket item like a Scathis or a couple nukes, or there's no satellites, there's no Paragons, there's no Mavers. T3 artillery could go after a myriad of things, but it would buy them time. You do see units traversing the middle of the map, but you can see, because it's just so bottlenecked, the other team can just sit units and create a nice little kill box here. It takes a while to, I was going to say fly through or drive through, but sail through this little narrow neck of land. It's not really worth it to really send units in. We do see some Salems moving after those units, but again, is it worth it? I don't know. Look at all those ETAs over there just in the distance when I hold shift. You see all the notifications, which is what you essentially would see here, but for some reason it's all the way up there. But now we see those Salems have moved northward, going after the cruisers. There are a lot of them. They'll get a lot of value out of them, but there are also some Salems. And what I love to see is the the Mermaid, able to mess with the radar signatures here for Team 1, so it makes it a lot harder to target those units. They did get one cruiser killed, so it's better than nothing, but it's not really worth it. Especially if those Salems would have been lost, which they're not. Chicken has been started here for Team 2's Nya in the south. Missile outbound. Where is this one going? Let's see if this one is redirected. He's going to keep moving because he doesn't want it to be redirected on himself. Salem, if you don't move, you are going to die. Oh, actually, no. It's 6,000 hit points, so 500 left. Salem goes, okay, I'm going to move now. And we'll start moving around the map. Still Salem production here for Team 1. Still, actually it stopped. Maybe we'll see T3 since there's so many engineers here, but again, I don't know if that's worth it. Air grids being extended here. Team 1 expanding a little bit more than Team 2. Obviously, Dilly Dally has more mass than Fairy does, so it definitely accelerates the growth. Team 1's northern player of Katawonga going for laser. Has a nice little brick wall forming here. And Team 2's beachhead is still here, but Team 1 is doing a lot better job of kicking Team 2 out than vice versa down in the south. Team 2, again, still has some presence down here, but it's heavily diminished. And there's still Wagner's in the water, so Team 2 trying to rebuild, but Again, I don't see that really happening. There's not the infrastructure here. There aren't facilities, at least a lot of them. There isn't a fire base with PD or AA or anything. And Salem's in the middle of the map, making their way westward. They have crossed the water and have started to invade the land, as we love to see it, with Siren naval units. They are my favorite unit from the Sirens, only due to the fact that they have these legs. If it wasn't for that, I don't think I have a favorite. I mean, their battleship is pretty good, the Galaxy class. That one's not bad, but I don't know. I feel like I'm still, again, a UEF stan, so the Summit's better. But, again, the Salem's make it worth it. I did not like the fact in Supreme Commander 2, the game that no one speaks about anymore, essentially, except now, you had to research the legs, so you could build the Salem, but it didn't have the leg capability, so then you have to, like, spend time and effort in researching. I do understand where they were kind of trying to go with that, where it's a different take of, okay, now you have to research the upgrades, but you get to pick what you want to research. You can hyper-focus on something. I did get that, but I guess it didn't have the same amount of oomph that this game does. And unit structure was different. The art style was a little different. Just everything felt a little bit more different, and it just wasn't the same. And I think had the developers just made Supreme Commander 2, like made this game into Supreme Commander 2, it would have been perfectly fine. They would have sold copies and all that. But Catawanga moving in with his cloaking and laser commander. All of these Salems will be destroyed. And it looks like they're going after some bricks running around. And that's a lot of mass for Team 1 to claim. And 1,600 per wreck definitely adds up after a while. ASF fight will occur here. The benefit goes not only for Team 1's air player having better numbers, but the engagement is with them. It looks like trying to draw the ASF underneath AA coverage. And even some bouncers over here make it very annoying. Laser ACU with cloak, watch out, says Kelly. Love the call out here from Team 2's Kelly saying, hey, there's something over there, watch out. And again, Team 1, they all have the capabilities of going for telemaser, so that's always going to be a threat. Team 2 can with Kelly, but they only have one chance in terms of the player dying. And Team 1 has 2. They lost 1. But, 2 is better than 1, and 2 is also better than none. So there is that. Chicken is online. It has, AA, which sucks, by the way. The AA is not really great. Only good for maybe Jesters and T1 bombers. That's it. We do see Amphibious and Massive, of course. That column of Catawanga getting closer and closer to that chicken. The chicken actually diverting southward. Team 2 needs to spot this comm. If they don't, that chicken is in danger. There is no Omni on board. The spy plane immediately gets killed off. And some ASFs outbound from Nya. He's getting into the air game as well. Went from T2 to T3. And that chicken is going to die. That chicken is not going to feel well. Looks like it's just trying to dance some bomb. T1 bombers isn't really something to really worry about. Maybe Team 2 will see him. Looks like there were some shots fired in some direction. Looks like they're trying to ground fire. Very interesting. Where's the comm now? Looks like he's right here. Team 1's commander of Chicken is nearby. Team 1's commander of Chicken. Team 1's commander of Catawanga is nearby. The Chicken is destroyed. Team 2 needed those spy planes overhead, if ever so just quickly. And the Ion Storm will activate. It cannot target a... oh, no, it can. Okay, never mind. Ion Storm does target Catawanga if... Oh, that is Team 1. No, Team 2 can't see him. So, yeah, Ion Storm can target cloaked commanders. Good to know. I will not try that trick in the future, even though I don't play Cyberman that much. Definitely a good idea to not do that. But Team 2 gets, again, another mass gift, not only in the form of the Salems from earlier, but now a chicken wreck. Essentially the same amount of mass, if not a little bit more for the chicken, maybe? Looks like the wreck's already been reclaimed up, so it's kind of hard to tell the numbers at the current moment. But T3 units are online here for the naval player of Kelly, going for Battleship. And again, as I mentioned before, unless you can get those units through this narrow neck, it's not really gonna matter because you're locked off a heavy amount of what you can go after. You can see this is the range. You can't even hit the base up here. Maybe if you shift right here, but then you got a landmass. It's not that big, but you really got to stick them right here to be able to throw artillery over there, which I think at this point is Kelly's only play with these, is shift them northward and then taking out this entire base. Once he does that, then he can probably sit them over here. But Seeing him right here isn't the best idea. If they knew where the comm was, maybe it'd be a little bit more, but still then, we do see some gunships coming in and coming to assassinate Team 2's play of Nya, making this now a tied game at 2v2 comms remaining. Jester Incursion in the south. Just, again, very cheap units, spamming units out just to deal some damage. Love to see that. Again, this is more of a distraction. This was the bigger play. And now with Nya's defeat, it is a 2v2 game. One Seraphim remains of the game. Everybody else is a Cybran. T3 facility up here in the north. Some bricks being built. Radar online. One T1 Mechs to make it a little bit more worth it. But that is going to be it. I don't know if that'll really pull dividends out. But again, getting a free T1 Mechs is better than nothing. Airlock, not really occurring. The pressure could be mounted a little bit more from Team 1, but at least the airlock over Team 2's now Kelly's base is occurring as we speak. AA being built up, at least some T3 stationary and T2 mobile. T2 to go after the gunships and T3 to also go after the gunships, but also the ASF. The entire southern edge will be destroyed. There is no hope here for Team 2 southern edge. It's gone. No saving that. Artillery is starting to land on those Salems, and it doesn't look like... Well, do they have enough? I think they have enough room. It's kind of hard to tell with the shadow. There are commands to move forward. Oh, no, I don't think it's deep enough. Or at least maybe he's canceling the orders, I don't know. But it looked like it was about to move in and then stopped. The midpoint would be right there. So if he can make it past that point, he can make it through. But I don't think the Galaxy can make it through there. Maybe if he makes another attempt at it, and I can pay attention to that. Corsairs over top going after the Whaler that's on the ground, but will be killed up by the horde of ASF. Team 1 definitely has air dominance, sitting at over 100 ASF versus Team 2's Ferry, who's sitting at 24. So a Ford... he is building an Awasa, to be fair. Actually, excuse me. He has an Awasa, but unfortunately, he doesn't have air control. That thing is going to be a mass gift if he cannot use it. If he does not use it correctly, that's another mass gift. Just be very careful with where he places that. He could go after the air grid down here. There's some hives forming. Maybe there's going to be a nuke or SMD built pretty shortly. Team 2 has an SMD over here protecting the air grid, and it's already loaded. Looks like it's going over for this base. That's definitely a good choice, but again, he has 4 galaxies that could easily deal with this, and he has to know that that bomber is going to be a major target once Team 1 notices it. Don't think this is the play. If he takes out the shield and then leaves, that's probably the best way to go. And there goes the bomb. It has landed on the shield. We'll take out the... Won't even take out the shield. Oh, nope. Well, the artillery will. And the Omni is taken out, so blinding Team 1 on this western side. Love to see that. Going after the radar. It does have a T2 still, but again, you lose the Omni, which is a little bit important. Looks like the facility was captured. Looks like it was captured. Very, very... looks like the engineer either reclaimed it, built it, or captured it. Probably captured it. But it's all Cybran, so it's hard to tell if it was captured or not. But T2 spam some Yenzian online going after those T1 Tridents. Still have not seen any effort to cross the narrow neck of water. I keep saying land, probably, huh? Narrow neck of water. And artillery is starting to show this position, but the monkey load is online. That's going to hurt. These galaxies have got to move, and it looks like the pings do occur. One of them does move, but the other one does not. Monkey's going to get tons of value out of this, killing off, again, units with very comparable hit points, but lasers are a lot more powerful than that artillery. And there it goes. Laser will activate, and look at the hit points just fall. Galaxy will retarget, but again, it's going to... Nope, slow down for a second. Monkey trying to chase him down, but we'll shoo them away. This base will be safe for now. A couple of stuff was killed off, but again, Omni was rebuilt almost instantly. The Team 1 doesn't really lose much of anything else except time, which if you lose enough time in this game, it makes a difference. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 battleships coming online. Those could be cruisers. Those could be a Plan B. Those could be a bunch more Salems. Those could be literally anything else. But he's going for galaxies. I do understand the tendency to go for that, but again, if you cannot get your units past this mark, it does not matter. Because what could happen is if he does get the galaxies through and can claim the Southern Navy, he can reclaim this southeastern position. I mean, the Awasa is going to help with that. But, oh, and that facility does go down. There's a trebuchet still there. But that is, again, that's a lot of mass. We're talking about 72,000 mass in battleships. It could be funneling literally any other project. I feel like building a plan B and then going for, focusing on the nuke would be a lot more effective. You're going to create a nice exclusion zone, but A, it's going to take a while, and B, you have monkey lords running around that makes sitting, galaxies on the edge of the water or edge of the land not really the best idea. Chicken says Nabawasser looks like they're building more chickens here for Kelly, so he's going for battleships and chicken. I like the chicken play because then you can make those across the map. Tons of gunships online here for Dilly Data that will counter that chicken quite heavily. And we do have some bricks running around. That's not going to help anything. There are some Othams as well coming out from those production facilities down there. T3 Mechs are going to go down, which are not going to help anything. Looks like there is a fight for Katawunga's position. And Awasa goes in after that Monkey Lord. The battleship takes another hit, though. And Bricks is still not able to target Katawunga's commander. They don't have Omni online nearby. And those bricks have a lot of attributes: torp defense, torpedoes, transportable, amphibious, and aquatic, but they cannot kill off the commander. He's killed off 44,000 mass with his commander, most of it from his laser, but has done a very good job of keeping Team 2's Kelly at bay, really delaying the invasion. I mean, it happens every so often that Kelly makes some sort of, beachhead, but then it gets destroyed, especially down here. I mean, this facility will go, back and forth because there's just a ton of stuff down here. But I feel like more Salems, more cruisers, and a plan B would be a lot more effective. Yeah, he's just pumping those battleships out. It is not going to win the fight. Looks like he might try to make it for another play. Again, if this doesn't go through the middle, it looks like it will, but unit trying to make its way through. Yeah, the command has been given to move to the other side of the pond, but everyone's going to get bottlenecked here. A nuke would just annihilate all of this, even if it was just a sub-nuke. Maybe not as enough damage. Looks like the Awasa bomber was killed off by the ASFs from Katawunga, but it lands on Team 2's side of the water, so that's perfectly fine. But yeah, all those battleships not doing anything. Need to either control K some of those, get the mass back, funnel into different projects, stop building them. Looks like he has stopped. But again, we're sitting at 12 of them, sitting at 96,000 mass, almost 100,000 mass of units that not really going to be that effective in this game. We do see some nice Barracudas coming online, but they're running into a horde of Salems, which, again, not really going to be that effective considering the fact that those Salems have torp defense and torpedoes on board. Barracudas have the same, but they're just going to be overwhelmed. And there it goes. Looks like some gunships coming online here in the south. Tried to kill off the chicken. Didn't really work out. Team 1 still has the air presence to really dominate Team 2, but they're not going for it. Lots of Yenzine running around. Going to go after that brick. And a lot of AA, to be fair. So if that brick doesn't die, all that AA is dead. The chicken is not going to move over, though. That's really going to hurt the AA coverage here for Team 2. Nuke is online, as stated earlier. Is have it loaded. Team 1, do you have an SMD? Yes, you do, and it is loaded. Do you have an SMD? Yes, and it is not loaded. So Team 2, this would be Team 2's chance to kill off the air presence, at least the facilities, to really have some sort of chance at the air game. But with everything online for Team 1 and getting some RASCOMs to really juice up the eco, Team 1... Okay, I was going to say that's at 10,000 mass, but that is not accurate. Team 2 is still producing more than Team 1, but I don't know. I think Team 2 is spending it in stuff that they don't really need to be spending it on. In a traditional Navy map where you can actually access the other side of the water, well, besides Settons and other maps like that, those battleships would be effective. But in this game, or this match, where you can't make them go across, it's just wasted mass at this point. I mean, you get a couple of pod shots, but some of these realistically could be control K'd. And especially because all of the main facilities are so far back, they're not just on the beachhead, they're, ways back. Some of the shots can still hit, but it's just not enough to really crack any position other than just right there in front of them. We do see some Othams in the water. But again, the artillery landing in from the battleships going to just annoy the Salems, but it's not going to secure the southern naval pond, water, lake, whatever you want to call it. You see a monkey lord online escorted with some bricks. Would like to see this transferred over to most likely Catawanga so that Dilly Dally can focus on air and other efforts, but I do like the combination play going down. One person has built all the support units. The other person's actually built the experimental. We see more bricks down here. Team 2 might be expecting a sort of land incursion. They have multiple chickens down here. Those chickens will absolutely destroy that monkey, and that's why the monkey's going a little bit more northward. The chickens will take some time to catch up, and this place is exposed. It is spamming out T3 units. You know, it's going out of like it's going out of style. Chicken is almost done. That might be enough to prevent the monkey from doing devastating amounts of damage, but there's not a lot of defensive online. Nuke is up on it, going for the air grid, and it's too late. The SMD does load. Unless Team 2 has another one in the clip, it is not going to matter. It does not. He's building a YOLO, and I feel like Team 2's other player, Kelly, should assist with this. The sooner that comes online, the quicker this game will go, obviously, for them. We see now all the artillery just piercing all of the shields, all of the defenses here for Catawanga. But is it worth it? Again, you can kill everything off and deny it, but you're killing off a couple of mexes, a T3 air facility, which Catawanga isn't really focusing on air. He has his own nuke. That's almost loaded. Has his own artillery. At least it's building. Probably should pause that, build that, and then build that, or load that, then build that. SMD right here as well. That's not loaded. SMD back here obviously is loaded. And there is no... Oh, no, there is one here now. It's almost loaded. So if Team 2 can load their SMDs, which it doesn't help that there's a monkey there, and the chicken getting absolutely just confused. Do not try to walk up that cliff. It is not going to work. The SMD is destroyed. Oh, no, it's right there. Never mind. It will be destroyed. Excuse me. The chicken could have been there in time, but doesn't matter. This place will go down. This would be the best target for that nuke. You kill this off, kill off a lot of mass, kill off a T3 air headquarters if it doesn't already get killed up by the monkey. T3 land headquarters is also being targeted, trying to prevent the building of said Occams. And the monkey will die, but again, stuff is dead. Critical stuff is dead. Both of the headquarters and the SMD are down. And there are some interesting units over here. We have a nice little megalith running around. That also doesn't have Omni, which means Catawanga is going to just absolutely destroy that crab. Crab, you know, is taking out a decent amount of bricks. Needs to actually land all the shots, though. That's a thing. But, again, that's not going to feel good here for Team 2's Kelly. Does start backing up. Probably should have started backing up a while ago. And there goes that comm. Does Team 2 see it? No, they do not. They see the laser, but it doesn't matter. All the damage from all the sources is not going to make a difference. And there goes that megalith done and dusted. We do see those Othams coming in to support. They're way too late to the party. No AA coverage here, which means those gunships would absolutely destroy them. At this point, that is the only thing that makes me feel like Team 2 has a shot at this. They have the entire southern edge of their map that's currently destroyed and not occupied. Same thing for Team 1, but again, the mass is still favoring Team 2. Tons of just battleships sitting here. It is getting to be an absolute horde of them. I mean, again, 12 of them. I don't think any of them have died yet. Yeah, still 12, so probably could control K half of those. I mean, you'd get 48,000 mass, shove that into the nuke launcher. I mean, that's a fifth, roughly, of the nuke. SMD is not going to be loaded, and it does go for this base. As I mentioned, that chicken is going to die. Probably should move that chicken at 1-star veterancy almost, but the gunships move. Everything else moves out of the way, but not the base and not the chicken, which will open a door for Team 1 to expose. Chicken run says, yeah, it's too late. The mass is going to be dead. Don't build the... Well, that's a little late on that front. The chicken does move. It's way too late. It's going to nuke the mass. Almost lands on top of where the chicken was standing. There he goes. Everything is gone. Kaboom! Team 1, how much mass did you kill off? 43,000. Definitely worth the missile and then some. You took out the mass that you dumped on their doorstep and everything else that was there. And the chicken, which again, Team 2 can build another chicken, but it's dead. So there's some victory in that. We do see a nice little crab running around. Crabs are very annoying to deal with in the water because they just have tons of hit points. They have torpedoes. You really just got to shove a lot of firepower down their throats to really deal with them. YOLO is spotted by Naberwasser. Has one shield, does have Tilla defense. Some of it, at least. Needs probably a little bit more, especially over here. The air grid is especially exposed. Team 2 could easily land a player, or sorry, Team 1 could easily teleport a player right here. Cascade all of this. You take out all the power. And then that nuke essentially becomes defunct. Because Ferry, if he lost all those facilities, would definitely be negative on power. He might be able to float a little bit from his teammate, but not by much. And again, just tons of Salems coming online. And this is where Team 1 is going to shine. These units not only can move faster, there's a lot of AA, they have lots of torpedoes. They also, of course, can go through the narrow neck of water. So there's also that. Not that they're going to go that way due to the fact that there's, again, 12 battleships over there. But, again, it's still not working for Team 2. We do see, however, he has transitioned to 4 Plan Bs. Okay, 4 is not... I mean, it is a decent amount, but 4 Plan Bs, 1 YOLO. Let me 4 Plan Bs, 1 YOLO that's not done yet. Probably should focus on the YOLO. That thing is almost in the green. It's at 73%. It is pretty close. Team 1 needs a counter turret. Artillery is in the yellow. It's being built, but it's being built very slowly. Team 2 has the opportunity here. Multiple SMDs coming online as well. These probably more being added. Nuke about a quarter of the way loaded. SMD 1 loaded. If Team 1 does not go after that nuke, which, oh, they're going to go for it. ASF are moving in. The gunships for Kelly not going north. They're not engaging. This is going to be huge. There's not a lot of AA here. Team 2 only relies on the ASFs. Needs to move those in, Kelly and Ferry. You don't see them as well. That's not good. There come the gunships. They're moving in. The ASFs engage, and that YOLO is going to die. They are underneath the shield coverage. There it is. The YOLO, which was almost built, is denied. First air fight, or the major air fight of the game, happens over top of Team 2's air grid. Gunships going after all the pigeons, getting tons of cascades. At least the that northern air grid is done. Team 2 absolutely gets destroyed with this air grid. There it goes. Going to target the comm of Ferry. Should have built more shields. Should have built more AA. Oh, all the gunships are down, but the air grid essentially is knocked in half. The YOLO, there's not even mass left to reclaim. Oh, that's gotta hurt, especially because it was so close to being loaded. Now the only hope for Team 2 are these, which they're not even loading. So that's a thing. Kelly should probably load those. Now he's building more cruisers and sending them northward. And again, had he had just a bunch more cruisers, yeah, that YOLO might have died, maybe, but it definitely would have been muted. GG says, yeah, he thinks the game is over, which it's not necessarily over one direction or the other, but Team 2 definitely would have won had that YOLO come online. Team 1 did not have anything. They do have a Disruptor online, so there is some hope for Team 2 if you're rooting for Team 2. And Artillery almost online for Dilly Dally. Artillery, of course, is being built still by Catawonga. That's in the green now, so Team 1's about to have 2 of them online. And is that nuke loading? No, but it probably should be loaded. Lots of mass over the top of Team 2's air grid. You can see just on the map. We'll do the counts for you. 90. Oh, nope, too far. 96,000 mass on screen, so definitely enough to load a couple nukes. Artillery says Naberwasser. Yep, Team 1 knows the location of it. And that is definitely unfortunate for Team 2. You just saw the gunships coming in. They used that. I think they have stealth, if I believe. You can activate. Same with the. Yeah, personal radar stealth. Yeah. So they have ability to, again, nullify that. Had there been an Omni up here, that would have been not necessarily mute and not prevented, but at least muted in terms of not as many gunships would have got in. The YOLO probably would have died, but I think the air grid, at least some of it, would have still been saved. So while Ferry rebuilds, Team 1 has the opportunity to get ahead in the artillery game, which they do. One of them is online. Pigeons are going down, though, so Team 1's Dilly Dally needs to build a little bit more of those, but again, he built more SMDs to counter the YOLO. He has to shift gears just for a second. Second artillery is online for Team 1, though, so it's 2v1, and Kelly going to build a second one. So, again, The benefit of Team 1 is they're spread out. One's in one place, one's in the other place, essentially halfway up the map. Team 2, on the other hand, they're right next to one another, so a nice little juicy target, but it does focus the attack power of Team 1 on one location. So there is that. I mean, you could still kind of do that even if there was 2 in the same location for Team 1, but in terms of annoying, Team 2 is definitely on the shorter end of the stick of that. They're being, again, attacked from 2 different locations, firing at the same location. And it's in the yellow. It's climbing very quickly here for Kelly. Kelly at 600 mass income. Dilly Dally at almost 800. Both teams have cracked 1,000, but haven't really seen much after that. We do see some gunships running around. Just jesters. But again, Team 1's Dilly Dally not spending a lot of mass. Just going, hey, what can I get out of a squadron or so of very, very, very cheap gunships? Nothing? Okay, nothing lost. Oh, I get a couple of mexes, maybe T3s. That's great. Definitely value out of that. Chickens moving forward, not in the water though, so definitely needs to change that. And there is some flak here. Again, more and more chickens do stacking up, makes gunships a little bit less effective, but we do see those Salem's coming in one by one. Not gonna work. Those chickens just losing hit points by the 10s and the 100s. ASFs do come in. Will Team 1's ASFs move in? I think they will. They are. Looks like they will take. I would take the air fight even if it was over AA at this point. Eradicate the rest of Team 2's air. And the shields are starting to collapse around that shield. The artillery. Team 2 needs to build more of them. If they're going to build in yellow YOLO, it's probably not a good idea. Actually, artillery has shifted, gone for the air grid. It's not really shielded and is losing P-gens. Cascades are going to occur. We just saw one explosion. Another artillery landing. Looks like they shifted targets. Team 1 did. Are both of them going after it? It's kind of hard to tell. No, it looks like the one from Dilly Dally is going for the air grid. The one from Catawanga is going after this position. Does Team 1 have another one online? I don't think so. We do see some chickens now re-engaging over here against these Autumns as well. And Team 2 has the firepower to bring to bear with all these battleships, but again, the downside is there's so many cruisers, there's so many Salems. It makes air essentially impossible to fight over. Nuke is outbound. More shields, says Nya. And SMD does not exist over here. Looks like, I think there was at some point, but it's gone. That artillery is going to go up in smoke, and after that, that's probably it that Team 2 has in the... What is this? What is this? You know, it could have been easier to just build a teleportation mechanism and just do it that way. But Nuke is going to land. Ka-boom! Kills everything off except the one that was being built. But at that point, it doesn't even matter. Team 2 is on the back foot. Once the YOLO got killed off, it essentially was just downhill for Team 2. You know, they have these Plan Bs that are now loading, I think. Well, no, those are the missiles, right? No? I can't. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Because sometimes the yellow bar is the missile, and sometimes it's the nuke, and I can never remember which. I think those are the nukes. They do have an opportunity to come back in the game with those nuke subs, but there's a thing up here. Again, Omni would be in range, or at least very close to being in range. That is going to be a lot of value here for Catawanga. 63,000 mass killed, and Ferry building more shielding. He's lost his air grid and his T3 air headquarters. He's going to lose the rest of it. Here comes that comm. He is inbound. He's not going for it just yet. He's on hold fire. You can see him. Just wants to make sure he gets into the base. He's not firing just as of yet. Wants to find the comm, I think. Spy planes over top will give him some readout. Looks like he's going for the nuke first. And he does find the comm. So he's probably going to go for nuke and then the comm. And even if he dies from this, it puts Team 2 in a very bad way. Team 1 still doesn't see him. Oh, sorry, Team 2 doesn't see him. Team 1, and it's a very risky play. The comm does have Omni on board, so Team 2 will see him as he comes into range of the comm. But looks like Catawanga making it very apparent that he is going for that comm now. Standing next to a P-gen doesn't help, that's for sure. And if Ferry is paying attention, again, he cannot see him. GG, says Ferry. Maybe he'll control K. Nuke is outbound, so he will at least unleash his nuke before the game ends, or it was killed off, or both. But I'm trying to keep an eye on what's going on down south. Not really anything so far. Yeah, here's the comm. And Team 2's very control case, bro. Hello. Catawonka's like, dude. Aw, that's disappointing for Catawonka. He's like, oh, I wanted to kill you with my walk across the map with cloaking and laser. Aw. Gonna go after the nuke now, I would assume. And again, Kelly, you don't see him because there's not an Omni over here. And that's awkward. It's gonna kill everything off. Even if there was a spy, literally a spy plane would do it. That's definitely unfortunate. Where are those subs? Where did they go? Did they get destroyed? I hope not, because that'd be disappointing. Do you know how long it takes them to get there? Neverwest is like, not okay. Like, you cannot do that. He walked all the way over there. He spent the time. Not okay. Oh, that's too bad. Okay, he really wanted that kill. That's too bad. Yeah, probably shouldn't blow up the nuke right next to it. Probably not a good idea. Good thing he doesn't target it. Gonna just take out some T1 PD. Now take out the nuke. Now you're at a safe distance. Not gonna go for it. Oh, now Team 2 sees him. Those PD do open up. And we'll target the... Oh, nope. Still having trouble targeting that nuke. And Team 2, again, still can't see him. Oh, there's the PD. They open up. Not going to be enough, though. Why isn't his laser firing? That's great. Is he out of power? Oh, he's having troubles with his power and whatnot, looks like. Detected. And Nuke is outbound. Still hasn't killed that nuke off. Nuke is... Oh, and it's gone. Never mind. And nukes are launching here from Team 2's Kelly. What are they going for? They're going for the air grid. 3, 4, 5, 6... Counting that one as 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's going to take a little bit more than that to break through. It's not going to be enough. Another nuke outbound. This time from Team 1. And where is it going for? It's going for... Okay, because why not just kill the rest of it off and just make it a point? You're not getting anything up north. The southern section of the map is destroyed. The northern section is going to be destroyed for Team 2. And at this point, it's just academic. I'm going to speed this up. The only hope is for Team 2 to load all of these and destroy everything. But, unfortunately, he does not have the power to do that. Literally and figuratively. And kaboom! Kills off the rest of that up there. One P-Gen remains, but looks... Wait, hold on. Where did you go? Oh, he's right there. Okay, I was going to say, like, wait. How did... Oh, okay. Catawonka is he... Wait, hold on. Is he ground... No, he sees him. Okay, I was going to say, is he ground firing? The Omni runs out of range. No, it kind of moves out of range for a second. And those Salems are chasing that comm. Catawonka might die to this. He's sitting at 18,000 and dropping. He wants to get those get to the Salems closely. He can't get any more hit points because he's at 5-star veterancy. How much mass has he killed off? 130,000, dropped below 10,000 hit points. He is going to die. He's going to take some Salems with him. We do see some ASFs coming in to go after that. That spy plane is going to be enough. It is not. And Team 2 will kill off one player before the game pretty much ends here at 57 minutes. And we do see some Othams tried to make it for those SMDs. Got denied by Team 1. It is now Dilly Dally versus Kelly. Again, Dilly Dally sitting in a very good position. He has multiple artillery online. He has a nuke launcher. Decent amount of SMD to protect against those, the submarines. There's no air to speak of for Team 2. There's some ASF, but no air facilities. T3 Navy is still online. Took a battering, but it's still fine. But again, it isn't doing anything. And as shown, yeah, it's great. You can kill a Monkey Lord very quickly. And it definitely was a deterrent for any sort of move like this, but had some of that mass. Not all of it, maybe a quarter of it, 20, 25,000 something, had been shifted over to that nuke launcher. It might have been enough to finish the loading, get a couple of YOLO missiles off, and that might have been enough for Team 2 to win the game. And even if the nuke would have been killed, it still would have been enough. Waste of time? No, it wasn't a waste of time. It's definitely a good game. Kelly is the one, of course. I think I can say this. He's going to lose. You on the last one could have been. You lost the nuke. you had a calm walk. Again, yeah, I agree with Kanawanga. It was. You had a calm walk all the way to the other side of the map, cloaked. Team 2 didn't see him because they didn't have Omni online. Killed off the air grid, at least most of it. And then tried to kill the calm off. Would have been an excellent snipe, but it didn't matter because Fairy control K'd anyways. So he was very upset. I had 10 minutes screen time. Says, oh, Nebraska feels bad. He only had 10 minutes. Hey, but again, he did a good job, at least for what he had. It ended with Team 2 control K'ing and just noping out. And Team 1 won the game here at 58 minutes and 30 seconds. I feel like MVP. Yeah, I feel like everybody kind of feels where it's going to. It's going to be for Katawonga. Not only due to the fact that, of course, he went for an excellent move of going after the comm directly. So regardless if it would have happened or not, I still claim that as Katawonga getting the kill because it was literally, what, 10 seconds maybe he would have needed to destroy that comm. The comm control K'd, either he saw him in control K'd or was going to do it anyways, and it just so happened to do it at that exact moment. But I think Katawonga deserves MVP for this game. Was very solid, kept Kelly at bay. Did a very good job here up in the north. It was definitely a little bit back and forth, same with the south, but definitely prevented the land engagement a lot more and gave a lot more time to build up, went for artillery, got a nuke online. That paid dividends. Killed off the artillery that Team 2 had. That would have been a little bit more annoying had it stayed online longer, but I think Dilly Dally would have been fine. He was building more shields anyways. So it was definitely one of those it's nice to have kind of things. But yeah, I do think the biggest blunder, not trying to, again, bag on Kelly, but going for all of the Galaxy class battleships, I'd say about maybe 5 of them would have been fine. Definitely, let's say, I'll give him 6. So half of the ones that he built, that's fine. I mean, they secured this position quite well, preventing any incursion from the Southern Navy. That's fine. But honestly, could have used the mass for the Plan Bs for the YOLO. Again, half the mass for the YOLO. Could have been a lot more mass towards the YOLO, or just spend it more on cruisers and having them patrolling the map. Something like that. But again, let me know down in the comments how you felt about the game. And again, not to bag on Kelly. Kelly did a really good job. Just could have been a little bit better had they shifted in a couple of different directions. But again, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I will see all of you in the next one.